Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Soapbox. I am your host, and I am joined by the new, up-and-coming, and quite frankly, fantastic DJ 9.
Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that, but that was very kind of you.
You're most welcome. So I have a little blurb here to kind of set a tone for the interview, and I'm just going to read this out. Just note that this interview is not going to be very talky on my part, because thankfully I got a fellow talkaholic to come as well.
Extroverts for the win,
The great Diplo once said, "Literally, the only way DJs lose fans is by saying dumbass stuff." Is that really what he said?
Yeah, it's a quotable tweet. And just look it up.
I would have used a different S word there. How do you think Daft Punk has been famous for 24 years? They don't talk. Daft Punk are not gods, nor man. They are robots.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was like, when you first were like, hey, yo, come on the podcast. I was like, it's, a good idea. But then I was like, also, when I look at Daft Punk, right, they're the whole inspiration for basically everything that I've done, because they're like super cool, there's these two robots with like awesome helmets on.
But also kind of, and you also took their bit of anonymity, because despite how cool you and me are, this motherfucker still ain't tell me his government name, and we're not gonna. And even if he does, it's not gonna be on the podcast. So, but regardless, it's like it's kind of a good mark, because I've seen pictures of what Daft Punk look like outside of the chicanery, and they're boring.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
they're more interesting when they're all dolled up with a Zero from Borderlands emojis on their head, So I'm starting to think that's where they got the inspiration for Zorro from.
It's possible, but also it's like one thing that a lot of
Zero, I mean to say.
Yeah, one thing a lot of DJs and EDM artists and stuff like that who wear helmets and like gigs and like masks and things like that. I think a lot of the mindset of it is like they don't want to build like a cult following of the person.
They want to build a cult following of the music.
Yeah, it's like for the music. It's like come here for the music.
Because
like you said,
you could argue that Daft Punk, once they die, their kids could take it over, and nobody would be any the wiser.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that's a lot of things with like people like Marshmello's done this gag.
Or the Blue Man Group.
Blue Man Group. Marshmello's done this gag where like he'll go have someone show up and take off the mask, and it's not him, and it's
it becomes a game of the love of it. It becomes an entity.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an entity that could arguably becomes an asset. Like it could be argued that when you're rich and when you eventually become famous and well known, which I know you will, you could very well sell the image of 9.
Yeah,
and then
possible.
And you wouldn't have to do it, but it's like one of those interesting things. Like Chris Brown can't do that. Kanye can't do that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like with people who have
Taylor Swift and all them, like they can't. They're stuck. They're like they're that for the rest. Like they can't. Like their discography is their discography. You know, it's like a discography like can't be sold, and then you can use it for promotion. You can do all that, but you can't perform it.
Yeah, it's like you remember the sad Keanu Reeves meme when he's sitting on the bench eating a sandwich. It's like he's just doing his regular thing, and it's like when you're an actor and you're putting your face out there, or even when you're like a rapper and you're putting your face out there, it's like you're selling the image of yourself versus like with people who are like Marshmello, Daft Punk, me.
Well, Keanu Reeves is a bad example because he just lives in New York like a normal dude when he's not working.
Yeah, but like so did like Keanu. He was living. I don't know where they took the picture from, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was just like doing his normal life stuff, and then people are taking pictures of him. And a lot of people who get to the level of like, popularity where actors are, or performers, or anything like that, entertainers, and they lose a huge part of your life, which a lot of people take for granted, which is like privacy. Yeah, and that's something that I think people should take more precautions.
Well, but considering the life of a DJ, you're up and coming. So, like, what is your hustle? What is your life like? In what is the involvement of that day to day?
So the involvement of being a DJ nowadays is it's so different for everybody, because when you started off, or at least my experience, I was like I loved going to like concerts and performances and stuff like that, but like I would get anxious in the middle of a crowd because I'm like, yo, this is like super claustrophobic and stuff like that, and it's like, well, how can I still be in like this crowd setting and like stuff like that? And
enjoy the music without being bumped into, have drinks spilled on.
Exactly.
Drunk,
and I was like, well, there's the only person with a little bit of arm room when you're at a like electronic music concert is the guy playing the music. He's up there and he's got his discs, and then he's like, he's playing the music for the crowd. So I was like, that's what I want to do. So then I was like, now I need to learn how to DJ. And the crazy thing about that is that like nowadays there's YouTube tutorials for everything, but unless you actually have your hands on like a controller or on like CDJs or
you don't really. It's like comedy in that respect, where it's like it's one of the few things left on this planet that you can only learn by doing.
Yeah, it's like
truly,
it's just so hard to like fit it to learn it because it's like a lot of what it is like you'd think it would be like looking at a screen, pressing play, and then going on with your day, right? Mm-hmm. But what DJing actually is like you're memorizing songs and points of songs where you can transition them into other songs and stuff like that. It's
you're managing the feel of the room.
Exactly, it's the feeling.
Because that's what I always thought DJs did. I always felt like they're the ones who dictate like how hype things like they control the ebb and flow of the feeling in the room.
Yeah,
and that's part of the reason why like you see on TV and videos and stuff, like if somebody like shoots a gun in the air or something at a concert, like everybody snaps out of the haze because the trance has been broken. It's
exactly that. It's like you'll see a ton of DJs, mostly like there's, it's hard to describe because it literally is just a feeling. It's like when I practice, I'm creating a feeling for myself, and it's like, all right, I want to make other people feel this. So when then I go to play music, it's like, hopefully the idea is that you can create a sense of unity with a whole crowd of people that they're all feeling the same emotion at the same time, and that is like that's the goal for when you perform live or something like that.
Right.
So when you're like an up and coming DJ, it's like you have to learn how to DJ. It's like, well, how do you do that? You look it up on YouTube, and there's 50 billion tutorials all teaching you different things. So it's like the only option.
But what's actually useful? Oops, sorry. I apologize. I had a phone. Sorry about that. I'll turn my phone off. Continue as you're saying.
That's all right. So,
these spam calls are getting annoying.
Dude, you're so right. I've gotten like 10 of them in the past week, and it's like, I think there's somebody in Delaware that's just selling people's phone numbers.
Honestly, it's not even that. It's just like, when you look at how phone numbers work, it's your area code.
Yeah.
Then you have... the next three numbers I think denote the like geographical location in that area code, and then the last three like denote I think like the address or whatever.
Really?
Or something, or it's like if you actually look at how it works, like if you say go down to say like you try call a restaurant down at say Dewey Beach or Bethany Beach or whatever, or Rehoboth, and you call, say, what's the name of that ice cream place with that sell like the dope ass ice cream and fries, whatever, what the fuck? But
yeah.
If you call them, and then you call, say, like the next number up or down, you're gonna get their neighbor.
Really?
Yeah. So taking in a lot of cases,
neighbor to a whole new level.
Right. So it's like, so what I realized is that. And those are people who like have kept the same number for years. So what I realized is that these numbers actually technically dictate where the fuck you live.
That's so crazy.
Because if you think about it, that's how landlines worked.
Yeah.
It's like okay, this is your phone number because you live here, and this is your neighbor's phone number, and you live here. And then if you think back, if you probably pulled up your grandmother's or old like Rolodex or whatever, and looked at all the numbers, looked at like her next door neighbors or where she lived, like their numbers probably look pretty damn similar to one another. But yeah, that's like. It's not it's not people selling phone numbers. It's literally just like people putting in a computer a list like into a number generator,
just going down the phone book,
like hoping they get a schmuck that picks up.
Yeah,
But as you were saying, I wanted to actually get into the next thing is one of the big things that happen like when you at any concert where a DJ is performing. or a party where somebody hired a DJ, whether it's a prom or wedding or whatever, it's requests. Now,
yes.
So the one thing I would like to talk about is I've talked to a number of DJs before, but I've got a lot of mixed reactions. Like there's a love-hate relationship with things like requests. And I'm wondering, like, I'm guessing it's not that people hate or love requests, but I'm guessing it's the type of request.
Yeah,
I know because I know how it goes in with like the previous, like the controlling the flow of the room. Like if you're playing something, if you're playing like Ozzy Osbourne, doing a cut to a Wu-Tang Clan song is gonna just throw like where did that happen?
So it's like, and part of that is like DJs not hate requests, because I'm sure there's like people that thrive off of it. At least because like I would consider myself to be an EDM DJ, right?
Right.
So it's like if I'm up here and I'm playing like a song that's at 130 BPM and like everyone's jumping around and stuff like that, and then some drunk person runs up to me and they're like, "Hey, play Old Town Road," and then you're like, first off, it's like, in order to prepare a set of what you're gonna play, you need to
buy all the songs first.
Yeah, legally buy all the songs first, and then you like prepare your set and you practice it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna put a bunch of these keynotes here so that I know exactly when to transition to the next song.
And that's not even indicative of the 4 to 5 songs you have to play to ease into that.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, because usually, I don't know, the way that I do it is like, you set the tone of a room by playing some, like, I don't want to say ambiance, but you play a song that's like a lower BPM, like 120. That's like roughly disco music, is like 120 BPM. Then you start to go up into like 125. That's when things, people notice a difference between 120 and 125. Then there's that, like, there used to be this whole, I think there's a fucking movie that created this, like, oh, there's a 128 BPM is like the magic zone. That's when everybody's synchronized and stuff like that. But then, depending on the different genres of music you play, you go all the way up to like 130,
Where does popular music usually hover around? Because I saw this very interesting video where they took the what is it called, punk rock anthem or whatever it is,
something like that.
And it's a 155 BPM song, and they basically took things like Boom Boom Pow, Uptown Girl, all sorts, and just playing it over that, and it fits so well to like dance routine and
well, that's actually that's a good input. Is like that's what DJs do. Is DJs take one song and they mix it in with another song so that the second song.
So it's not so much the feel of the song. It's like, what is this thing's BPM? What is this thing's BPM?
Yeah, matching is what they call it.
Right. So and what key are they in? So we can sort of blend. Because I'm an old form music guy, so I know a little bit, but like. What DJs do is like on a whole different level. It's as if you guys are arranging music on the fly.
Yeah, that's because it's like
you're like
arranging music.
You're like a active, like you're composing. It's as close to a composer can get to performance.
Yeah, in a way, because it's like you have like it's the difference between like playing songs live and then being like at a it's such a hard distinction to make, because it's like you can talk about it like, oh, I went to go
don't dumb it down.
I know
my listeners are very competent.
But it's like you go to an EDM concert and then it's like concert is like this dude, he's sitting up here, he's got his thing, they call them CDJs. It's where you turntables, and they play music, and then you have people who are like, you go to a rock band concert and they're actually making the music. So the difference between the two is that a DJ plays music and then mixes it, mashes it, adds a bunch of effects to it, so it's almost unrecognizable to the actual song. And then when you have someone who's at like a rock concert, they are creating the songs themselves. That gets me into this other part, which I will break off into, but first...
Go ahead. Take as many tangents as you want.
At first I want to talk about the whole requests thing. It's like, if somebody is making a request for, like, Old Town Road, and I'm in the middle of playing a, like, 128 BPM song, it's like, first off, I didn't buy Old Town Road for this, set.
And that's why you have a laptop with...
Yeah, the laptop is what does the mixing, because there's these things called controllers.
To be more clear, You use a Mac, right?
I use a Windows laptop.
All right, so you got a Chrome, you got a Firefox tab open, or Chrome tab, or whatever.
I have respect. I use Chrome.
I was Chrome all the time too, but you know what I realized?
What's up?
Chrome is a damn RAM hog.
Firefox
is not.
Well, I mean,
Firefox may be, but let me tell you this: on my old computer that had on my laptop that had a busted fan, it was like running hot all the time. The moment I started using Firefox on it, those fans were not coming on nearly as much.
That's exactly why I got a new laptop, because it's like my old,
Bet you every dollar I got, if you took your old laptop and started using Firefox, see a world of difference.
All right. Well, I don't know, because the fan was pretty fucking busted on that one. So it was.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, though, I will say from a technical perspective, especially when you're working, if you use something like Firefox does better than Edge in a lot. Like Microsoft's branding on that is awful.
Yeah.
If you want something that's competent as Chrome, but not as much of a RAM hog, use Firefox. Plus, they also have things like you can free VPNs and stuff in that, and Tor access, and it's really, really good.
All right. Well,
I'm sorry, I got us all. I get.
I know we going back and forth here, but so I don't know. To put a close on the requests part, it's like some DJs love requests because it's like you can request it and
you're a hero.
Yeah, you play their song. That person is ecstatic. But if you're creating a feeling for the room and someone requests a song that's like directly opposed to the feeling, it's like you have to say no to that person. That's
or have it be like one of the last songs you play.
Or you could you could find a remix and just buy that on the fly. I've done that. Like I've been at parties, someone requested a song and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go look this up. I went to fucking Beatport, bought it, downloaded it, and then incorporated it into the set while I was playing.
How much do you have to get paid average at these DJ gigs?
I don't ask for money. I just say, let me play for free. Like I just go, hey.
So how much money you spend on like these requests and stuff usually?
Well, a song, it depends on the like wave format of the songs. You have MP3 and you have WAV, and I usually buy WAV because it's like it sounds sharper in my opinion. It's like people will argue that for days what's the best one to buy, but.
MP3 has the better branding, man.
Yeah. Well, on Beatport, they have like options for MP3 and WAV. WAV file is a little bit more expensive, like a couple cents more, but each song.
But for that sharper sound, it's worth it.
I like it, especially for the speakers that I run. It's like they pick up everything. Mm-hmm. So it's just like each song is roughly around like $1.50. Mm-hmm. If you want to bump it up to WAV, it's like $1.75.
It's whatever.
So, but like at the same time, it's that. But then when you're developing a set and they're like, "Hey, I want you to play at this party," and I'm like, "All right, well, when do you want me to start playing? When is the party going to end?" And then
that's a good question. Like, how much prep work does it take for you to get ready for this?
Yeah, well, it all depends on where I'm going. Because what I do mostly is like I just go to, I do dorm parties because I have a guy down in Newark, and he's like, "Hey, we're having a party, come play music." And I'm like, "Sweet." And so I go there, and I'm like, I prep my songs, and I'm like prepping a set, and it's like each song is like somewhere between, like you can buy songs that are somewhere between 3 minutes and 10 minutes, right? So when you're trying to play for like 3-4 hours, you buy up to like 40 songs. That's $40 that you're spending on a set, like alone, and you can almost double that if you switch it.
Do you get to use them indefinitely after that, or
yeah, you buy the song.
Okay, so I'm guessing that when you first started, we're first starting out, it was expensive, but now that you've got an established, like you've probably got.
Yeah, I can go back to a library of stuff that I have, and that's
how large is your library at this point?
I have no idea. Like
too damn much.
Yeah, it was actually because like when I got the new laptop that I have, I had to switch all the songs from that to that, and I was like,
you don't have like a cloud account or anything?
Well, I don't. This just like. I don't really have a cloud account. I just go straight from hardware to hardware.
I get that, but dude, Google Drive, you can get 100 gigabytes for like $2 a month.
Yeah, I'm not. See, monthly payments is rough because it's like when you're freelancing, it's like, I'll have like this one set, and it's like obviously I play for free, but like other things that you can do to make money. It's like you make this much money when you do that. But it's not consistent,
right? So it's
having monthly subscriptions.
I'm freelance, and I do freelancing stuff too. But you know, and I've got like my monthly overhead I have to meet minimum before to keep the doors open. Before anything else. Yeah.
So I don't know. Monthly subscriptions aren't exactly my jam, other than Spotify, which obviously Spotify Premium, hell yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you can, for any of our people who have Spotify but are currently listening on other platforms, we are on Spotify. Soapbox is on Spotify.
Hell yeah, dude! Spotify's the way.
Yeah.
I like Spotify a lot. I don't know. It's so easy to just find songs.
Honestly, I like it too. But my thing is that I already paid for YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
And you get Google Play Music for free with that.
I didn't know that. I didn't do YouTube Premium.
It's so hard to go back to ads.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It's like all the people who want for all the people who have problem with like going back to ads on shop like Spotify, never pay for premium because you will never be able to. It'll be $10 you can't afford to not spend. I can testify for that. I ran out of premium 2 months ago, and I was just like... You were dying, weren't you? I could not. It's the worst. Driving is just so much... Ads suck! It's the worst when you're driving and you're jamming out, and you're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, and then you're just, on the freeway, and then there's an ad, and then you're just completely taken out of it, and you're like, damn, I'm driving a car right now, and then it's it takes you so far. Well, that's part of the reason I don't do hard breaks on the podcast anymore. Yeah. It's because, I lead you into it with a question, and then there's the ad. 30 seconds to 2 minutes later, we're back. Yeah. It's not jarring. Exactly. It's back into creating the flow of the feeling. I feel like that's in most forms of art, media, or anything. It's if you create some type of feeling for people, they can latch onto that feeling, and it'll resonate with them. It's these things called they call them flashbulb memories, and it's you remember exactly what somebody said and where you were and what position you were in and what time it was, the color of the sky at the time or whatever. It's you have all that stuff, but it's that's the kind of thing that at least I think that DJs are trying to create over a long period of time. It's flashbulb memories. I've seen Marshmello live, I've seen Steve Aoki live, I've seen a shit ton of people, but the two that I remember the most are Steve Aoki and Marshmello, and that's because they did such a good job of there's a reason why they're popular, and it's because they do a fucking great job of keeping people in this feeling or whatever. I think that's similar with any performing art. Exactly. I liken it to something like stand-up comedy, bringing that back in. It's I saw Bill Engvall in concert. Yeah, how was that? And he's one blue-collar comedy guys. His stuff's a little more clean, little less blue, but it was funny. Yeah. And the entire time I'm just in this trance for a whole hour. Exactly. Just listening to a man, and God forbid I would ever get lucky enough to see Dave Chappelle in concert. It's the same thing with DJing, with comedy, with musical arts, with theater. And every time I'm ever sitting in an audience, it's harder for me to fall into that trance, especially if I'm watching a performance of something I already know how to do. Mm-hmm. I can't sit still in choir performances anymore. They're not enthralling to me because I was a choir geek for years. You were, all right. So I'm not. It's I'm not gonna be. It's harder for me to sit through. But it's when you sit in that trance. Yes. Of focusing on of you and hundreds of other people are just focusing on this one person or group of people on stage, or a song or just whatever, and you're just enthralled. It's there's that's not something easy. Yeah. It's the ability to make a room stand still and pay attention to you on command is such a... You have to be creative to do it, because there's no conventional way of doing that. No, and it's some people do it. Some people comics do it through presence. Some people do it through music, like you. Some people do it through visuals, like theater kids. You know, so it's really, there's ways to do it. But if you're not able to get people in that trance, you don't have a show. You don't have an audience. Because people are just especially nowadays, people will be yo, if I'm sitting here and I'm watching something,
how many times have you watched a YouTube video and then pulled out your phone and done something else while you're watching a YouTube video? And it's like
all the fucking time.
All the time.
Dude,
it's like
dude,
people
YouTube for me is no different. Like unless like it's something like I'm actually want to watch. That's just on like a separate screen in the background.
It's
like I'm glancing at it every 10 seconds while I'm doing some work on my computer or fiddling on my phone. Like it's not important.
Like people used to like make a whole day of just sitting in front of, like, I know people do it now, obviously sit in front of their screens and watch YouTube all day, but it's like would be the captivating thing.
Right.
That's the thing that you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this fucking YouTube video, and you sit down and you watch the whole thing and you're like, oh, it's already over. It's like that. Right. It's like when I was a little kid and I was like growing up and like fucking Dragon Ball came on TV, I would be like, oh, this is a
Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
It was Dragon Ball Z, right? So I was like, because I didn't watch a lot of TV when I was a kid. I was just a little idiot going outside throwing rocks at stuff. And so,
I mean, I was that too until I moved to Wilmington, and then like I realized, oh, there's an actual world outside of my podunk ass county.
Yeah. So it's like when Dragon Ball came on, I would watch that, and it would feel like I'd be like, oh, because like I had a little
don't stop where
yes, exactly. I'd be watching this episode, and then the episode would be over, and I would be like, what the fuck? Like, where'd it go? Like, I was like, that was a whole half hour of my life that's just gone, and it's like,
I'll be honest with you. When I was on my way here, I got your text saying you got out of your appointment early.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting at home, butt ass naked, in the middle of a dungeon on Elder Scrolls Online.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta be there in 20 minutes. I'll call the Uber in about 5 minutes. I'll do all that. I'll do all that. 15 minutes go by, and I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was like,
and shit, I ain't eating either. You know, so it's like the things that compel us.
Yeah.
Like unless you get into that trance, unless I'm in that trance with something, I'm not compelled.
Yeah, it's like theory of relativity and all that stuff.
Right,
you
it's
know?
like, and it's the same thing with your friends and stuff like that. It's like I listen to some of my friends talk, and I'm just like, I'm enthralled by what they're saying, not because it's mystifying or it's just like, I think you're dope, and I dig what you're saying.
It's like you're about it. You're about what they have to say. It's like, it's
and the more people
great.
you're able to enthrall like that,
yes,
like the more I think successful you'd be. And I mean, you have a bit of a following. Like, you wouldn't be getting gigs if people wouldn't be having you if you weren't able to enthrall people.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'd love to hear is like this actually, one topic is like knowing what DJ you're hiring, because like I'll go play like at a college party, right, and then people are like, I want you to come, I want you to like play your
I was
song.
trying to get to that question, I just couldn't figure out a good segue.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if people are like, let's come here, you're all like, whoa, this weird dude wearing a mask, let's go have him play at our party, right? And I'm like, alright, cool. And I play, and then I'm playing the music, and it's like, obviously DJs, you have to read a crowd, you have to know what's going on, and it's like,
and I'm sure there's an obscene amount of research. Like, you gotta know where look at Google the location.
Yeah.
Look at who frequents that on social. I'm sure the amount of research you have before you got a gig is absurd, because you gotta build a repertoire of music. For these people, and you can't be showing up to like a bunch. You can't bring like.
You can't bring dance music to an old person party, because like
right.
Unless you can. And honestly, watching when you're at raves and you see like these older people there at the raves, you're like, fuck yeah, that's awesome, right? But
like if you're at UD and you bring something like, I don't know, like Hall & Oates. Like classic music and shit.
Well, Hall & Oates is actually kind of rocking, but
I mean, I agree.
No, but there's a crowd for music.
There's
right?
a crowd for music, and like you've got to like do your research on what crowd is going to show up.
Exactly, because it's like people are like, "Yo, come play at my place," and I'm like, "All right, I'll play." And then I go there, and people are dancing for a little while, and then you'll have like, I was at this one party. I remember it perfectly. I was playing this song, and this like my friend comes up to me, and he's like, hey, these 3 girls asked me to ask you to play normal people music. And I was like, I was just sitting there and I was like, well, what? And then he was like, I don't know what they meant. They just say play normal people music. And then I was like, okay, I get what they mean. It's like, I would say, like, easily...
Baby.
Yeah. Like, easily hip-hop and rap are the 2 most popular genres out there right now.
Well, no, dude, it's hip-hop, all that stuff.
Yeah.
that hip hop has the same is at a level of influence today that what we call classic rock now was 40 years ago.
Dude, fucking
if the
rock,
Berlin if the Berlin Wall was around today, somewhat like fucking Jay-Z, just pick a rapper, some great rapper would be in the Berlin Wall was around today. Some great rapper would be hit like spitting their new single on the top of it, and it wouldn't have been Bruce Springsteen. It's just the point of it is that now, like, hip hop is one of those things where it's like it's the movement is the, it's the music of revolution.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's the music of revolution. Although I think that the direction that music is going in is like
very corporate, very sanitized. It's like it's a lot of
it could be that, but I think that people eventually are going to start to realize that it's like music is supposed to be this like it's supposed to be
anarchy,
the most free free. It's like the most free thing that you can create because it's like, especially the thing I love about electronic music is that when you're producing it, it's like you can go sample anything and make a top charts hit off of it because you can go into like a cafeteria, press the record button, hear someone say something like, I don't know, like peanut milk. I saw a guy drinking peanut milk in the cafeteria today, right? I don't know what the fuck that is, but you can turn that into a fucking single and like have that top the charts. By just having like peanut milk right before the drop, and then people are like, "What the fuck was that?" And then there's this music, and it's I just love electronic music.
Real. Led Zeppelin wrote a whole ass song and didn't have a name for it, and just named it after some shit they saw outside the studio, i.e., Black Dog.
Yes, right, exactly. Like music is just supposed to be the most like. It's supposed to be the thing that
there's no rules. There's no
rules. That's it. Once you realize that, you're free.
Aside from the fact that this is how staff notes work, like basic shit like that. Everything else is malleable as long as it sounds good. As long as like we're say this note means this note means this note means that, as long denoted by everything before after the treble and in the things. Everything else is up to like it's one of those things like when I'm a coder, so I look at a compiler, and I'm like, when I see a blank compiler with a file with nothing on it, I see infinite possibilities.
You see a canvas, so you can put your art on.
Exactly, and in back in my music days, I may not be able to. I don't see it to the same extent as I do that because my knowledge on music composition isn't as good. But I still see how a sheet of music paper, nothing on it, just the lines. Total like infinite possibilities.
Freedom. Well, that's the thing. Is like even if it's like a sheet paper or like with music on it, but like or if you're using a thing that it's a digital audio workstation, a DAW. That's what you'll see a lot of people using to make music, to make electronic music. They like there's people who are talented enough that can like plug in a keyboard onto their computer and get the write down some notes and like play them and stuff like that, and it's like, all right, good for you. But then there's people like me who are just like completely like just flat and they're like, I don't know how to play a piano right, but I can draw the notes out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's like if I'm using something like Ableton, because that's what I like to use, it's like you can plug in something, they call it MIDI, which is like, I don't know, it's a MIDI keyboard, and you can put it into your laptop, and then you can play the notes that you want if you know how to like create chords and stuff like that. Or you could use this feature, which a lot of digital audio workstations have, where you can just draw out the notes that you want. And I think that's what is that's why there's so many people out there making music these days. It's because it's like you don't have to know. Like, you don't have to know music theory, or you don't have to have studied a specific instrument. To make something
sellable.
Well, not even just sellable, but like to make something that you want to make, or something that you think sounds good. Because there are like...
Well, there's also the business aspect of it too.
Yes,
that's
a whole different...
Before, like Spotify itself is a perfect like if you get an LLC that holds like your discography for you, and then just upload your shit to Spotify, like, I would rather, like, I tell everybody I know who's a musician or does anything trying to make music, learn how to produce your own shit and put it out. Don't ever unless the contract from heaven falls in your lap.
Yeah.
Don't ever accept a record deal, like all that, like because you put the work in to 100% own your own shit.
Yeah, that's
100% of the profits come back to you. Like record companies are now just middlemen. Like
really.
Their job is to find the next big thing, and they aren't really needed because the internet picks the next big thing.
The internet does pick the next big thing, but a lot of it's like record companies and stuff. They can get you money faster than like.
Yeah, they can expedite the process, but what you're sacrificing in short-term gain is long-term.
Yeah, and you're also sacrificing part of your like freedom,
artistical integrity. Yeah,
because it's like if you sign up for something and you're making, like if I got signed because I made some like let's say I made a song that's like a house music song, and then I wanted to start making like disco music, but I got signed for a house company, and I'm like, yo, can I make this? I'm not going to say they won't, but it's like, you know, there's stories of people that like their creativity gets repressed from the deals that they've signed. And
yeah, like look at Lil Nas X. He's put out the same song 5 times and has had an.
Well, I don't know if that's
right, but here's the thing: he owns that music.
Yeah,
he owns almost all of the profit that came from it, minus the bits he had to give away to some of his features and stuff. But like, he built like he was able to build generational wealth off a single song, effectively. You know, and that's like the magic of today. Yeah. You know, you don't if now somebody like Jay-Z puts out a song. Oh, and now he has his own record company now.
Yeah, right. A lot of people do, like a lot of artists eventually grow to have their own record company,
right? Because they realize, like, I don't own any of my shit. But then but going forward, like the sad part is that they don't own any of the shit that made them great.
Yeah.
But everything going forward that is all theirs. Like that's all money in their pocket.
Yeah.
But
and I mean that's like that comes from like, you know, what you want to do with it. Like if I could
poor Rolling Stones. Like they don't make any money off the discography. They make their money from touring, and like they're all old.
Well, that could be part of the fun. You know, touring is like obviously something I've done, but I would love to do that. Yeah. It's like, you know, being small time and stuff like that. Thinking about record companies and everything is just so far out there that it's like I like just going places and I like playing music. And then if
you
people
enjoy
like
what is fun. It's so fun.
I just do it for fun. Like well, if I could turn this into a career where it's like, you know, I'm playing at Ultra 20 whatever, like that would be rad. That'd be cool. Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like if I just spend the rest of my days doing like, you know, playing at bars or at like parties and stuff like that, like that'd be awesome. Like as long as I would say as long as you get to do the thing that you love. You're living a good life.
You never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
but so we're reaching towards the end mark. We're about to start the shout out section, but let's shout out you first. If anybody wants to find you, what can we find you? So like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, well, right now I'm working mostly off of Instagram, and you know, obviously the detriment of having a singular number as your brand name is like there's nothing.
Search
out there.
algorithms suck.
Yeah, it's like, you know, everything has to be over 3 characters, right? So I have this hierarchy of like characters that are like names that I do. It's like if I can just put the number 9.
DJ 9.
Right? If I can just put the number 9 up there, that's like amazing. That's what I go with. Then underneath of that, it's like 9 spelled out, N-I-N-E. And so then I started doing this thing like when I was playing Xbox, I was like, I want to just be 9. And it was like, this username is taken. And I was like, go figure. So then I put in the word 9, and then it was like, this username is taken.
Because of course it is.
Okay, fucking, you know, go figure. So I was like, what if I just did 9 and then again, right? Like 9 again. So that's what I've been rocking with on Xbox. It's like 9 again.
9_9?
No, like 9, N-I-N-E-A-G-A-I-N. 9 again, right? So it's like, you have to find ways to circumvent the system, but
what's your...
to find me and to like, you know, if people want to message me or even just like, you know, dislike all my stuff and trash talk or whatever, it's like it's the DJ 9 on Instagram. That's what I'm running off of. So ITSTHE DJ and then the number 9. Yeah. That's what I.
Please tell me you have a YouTube.
I don't actually. I'm thinking about it.
You and I are going to talk off mic about that. But now we're going to get into the shout out segment. We're just going to same thing as usual. Shout out to RX Reboot. recently redid their website and all that.
RX Reboot, my guy.
Well, no, it's a wonderful. One man who runs it is wonderful. He does. He works on resumes, life coaching, and stuff like that here in the city of Wilmington.
Sounds like a great guy.
Great, sweetheart of a dude. He's a great client. Go check him out at rxreboot.net. RX Reboot, a prescription to reboot your professional career. Also, shout out to Squeezebox Records, which is I would want to introduce you to the guy who runs that. You might be able to do a show there if you.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. A friend of the podcast, Rich Fisher, is the one who runs it. Please go to squeezebox.com. I just redid their website as well. We got you can get he gets exclusive vinyl pieces that you can buy. You can buy equipment online. You don't even have to come into the store. And he ships in. I believe he ships in the continental United States as well as Alaska and Hawaii. Though don't quote me on that. So if if we have any record heads out there, some vinyl heads, go to squeezeboxrecords.com today, and you can have exclusive pieces like. One of the ones he had, I believe he had Low End Theory sitting around. He had a DJ Jazzy Jeff album.
Oh, yeah.
He just got the Ozzy Osbourne album that just came out, Ordinary Man on. And I believe you can actually buy that directly at bit.ly/OOM SBR, and then you can just buy that directly from there. Shout out to my boy CJ Perry. He runs Cal Visions Apparel on Instagram. Lots of really well designed streetwear. Lower price point than I think every other like streetwear company. Certainly more so than Supreme. And if you want to check him out, you can go to You can follow his Instagram at Cal Visions Apparel, and you can also go to calvisionsapparel.com and. He also does like select like limited runs and stuff. So make sure to check his site frequently for new drops, because once they're gone, they are gone. Shout out to my boy Solar Sonic 21. He for fantastic Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, Minecraft content like that. Go to Solar Sonic. Check out Solar Sonic 21 on YouTube. Friend of the show, Anthony Lopez, runs the channel. Fantastic channel. He does silent gameplay like we do on our YouTube channel, but plays games that we just don't have and don't play. Nine, do you have anybody you want to shout out?
A shout out to Freewave Costco. He's a pretty cool dude. You know him, you know me, like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Other than that, shout out to everybody listening. Like, live your life, have a good time. Anybody you need a DJ to hire, I'm out there.
Lastly, I'm gonna shout out Young Seta. He's a friend of the show. He was on first episode of season 2. Good guy, good friend, excellent rapper. Like local. Check him out at literally Young Seta on Instagram. I believe he has a new EP coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the High Soapbox. I am your host. I am joined by the fantastic DJ 9.
What's up?
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.